Memories are made around the dinner table. This is more than a cookbook. It's a tribute to a mother, a mentor, and a best friend. Chef Annie Payton invites you into her kitchen and her heart as she shares the cherished memories and timeless recipes passed down from her beloved mother. Every page of this book is a celebration of family, friends, and the legacy of home-cooked meals. From Sunday dinners to soul-soothing staples, these recipes are more than ingredients. They're stories, waiting to be shared again. Memories are made around the dinner table by Chef Annie Payton.
Hi, I'm Chef Annie from Annie's Gourmet Catering, and today we're in beautiful Henderson, Nevada, which is where I conduct my business. We're in a community called Roma Hills. Roma Hills is based on Roman architecture, as you can see in this beautiful kitchen, and if you were to take a look around the elements here, you'd go, my goodness, I feel like I'm in Rome. Today, because of this element of Roman culture, I decided to do a lasagna bar. And lasagna is part of every Italian family, no matter what part of Italy you're from, and American as well. And in America, we seem to want to deviate a little bit and make things a little bit more exciting than the traditional red sauces and different things that are part of their culture. Today, I'm doing a white lasagna, actually two of them. So one of them is Meat Lover's white lasagna, and one of them is a vegetable lasagna, which has these beautiful artichoke hearts. I'll show you one. They're gorgeous. So I use extra large artichoke hearts and chopped spinach and sauteed mushrooms with a garlic and an olive oil blend. And then we layer that inside the lasagna. So I'm going to saute everything up and tell you what I'm doing, and then we'll assemble a lasagna, a whole pan of lasagna. And it's very time-consuming. When people ask me to make lasagna, I do catering, so we get requests for it all the time. In fact, when we had our restaurant, we were named the best lasagna in the state of Nevada by Traveler magazine. So it's close to my heart. My mother taught me when I was a young lady how to make lasagna and how to layer it perfectly and blot down the noodles, and it's quite a process. So Mom's with me today. She's in my heart. She's not with us any longer, but I cooked by her side for many years. So this is in honor of my mom. To start out with, I have frozen chopped spinach. The reason why we use that in our dishes is because you don't want any long leaves. It's cumbersome, it's hard to eat. So if you chop everything up, it's very easy to spread. And additionally, once again, these are not marinated, they are just artichoke hearts, and they're quite large. They were whole, I halved them, and then I'm just gonna do a little bit of chopped garlic in it. And then one of our sponsors, Spirits and Spice, has infused olive oils that are fantastic. So the spices that you would normally use separately are already infused in her olive oil. So today I'm using an Italian medley olive oil, extra virgin olive oil from Spirits and Spice. And it's right in here, and it's also over on the display here. But I'm just gonna drizzle it in the bottom of the pan so that it sautés nice. And then I'm also going to add my mushrooms. So these are white mushrooms. I just sliced them about a ½ inch thick. And mushrooms, all these vegetables shrink when you cook them. So you want to make things a little bit bigger because you want a beautiful presentation in the end. And the only way you get that is by having larger vegetables and different things that people can look at. People eat with their eyes, as I tell everybody. That's just a known fact. So we like to make everything a little bit beautiful when it's presented. So this is sauteing. In the meantime, I have my water, and I'm going to boil my lasagna noodles. And after we're done boiling the lasagna noodles, I'll strain them. And then we have a process where we have to pat out all the water, otherwise your lasagna is going to be runny. So I'm going to cover this up. Additionally, since I'm showing you how to do the white lasagna, it's in an Alfredo sauce. And I love my Alfredo sauce. It's really easy. That's why I love it. And it's not, when you do marinara sauce, it takes hours and hours of simmering. Whereas with Alfredo sauce, it's a pretty quick cook if you use the right ingredients. So what I have here is salted butter. And I'm gonna put that in the bottom of the pan and let that simmer for a minute and melt up. And then I have my chopped garlic. And I'm gonna put that in the bottom here as well. So we have a nice blend of garlic, butter, and then a little bit of parsley. And then the next ingredient is heavy whipping cream. Don't use anything other than heavy whipping cream because it's gonna bubble up really nice. And Alfredo is thick. So the reason why it's thick is because of 3 ingredients: butter, heavy whipping cream, and lastly, Pecorino Romano cheese. Not grated Parmesan, Pecorino grated. And the reason why is it's made out of sheep milk. It's not made out of cow milk. And it's much saltier. It has a saltier base, so therefore it thickens up pretty quickly. And that's the secret ingredient in our Alfredo sauce. Now this spoon is a little bit too little because you have to use a lot. So it's kind of a process. You just put in probably about 3 handfuls of it, and then we're gonna let it boil for probably about 3 minutes. You have to keep stirring it, and also make sure your flame is low. If it's not low, because of the butter in the bottom of the pan, it's gonna burn. So you do wanna make sure that you don't burn your sauce. So once this starts boiling, you'll see it start thickening up, and it takes 5 to 10 minutes. In the meantime, we're going with this sauteed vegetables, and the vegetables, they take probably about 10 minutes as well. You don't want them too soft, but you do want them nice and pretty. So make sure that, you have your flame on lower just so that it doesn't burn. And then we have our noodles are boiling, and those take about 10 minutes too. So the first pre-process of making the Alfredo lasagna is maybe about 10 minutes. So you have your sauce going, you have your vegetables going, and you have your water going for your noodles. And when we come back, I'll be showing you how to drain the noodles and press them out, and then our sauce should be thickened up by then. And then we'll have our vegetables will be ready to roll as well. So we'll be back. Thank you. Welcome back. Well, while we were taking a break, our Alfredo sauce is now nice and thick, and it smells really, really good. Everyone in the room is smelling it. It smells very, very good. It's got a nice thick consistency, but not too thick, enough that we'll be able to spread it on the lasagna very nicely. We also have our sauteed vegetables going, so I have your white mushrooms that are sliced. I have the artichoke hearts, and then we have chopped spinach. And now, because it's sauteing in that beautiful olive oil from our friends at Spirits and Spice, now I'm going to take some of the granulated garlic, and I'm just going to sprinkle it on the top. And we also have our noodles that they're in the strainer now. So I boiled the noodles for 12 minutes. In a pan this size, you'll need 18 noodles for a 2-layer lasagna. Lasagnas can be any layer you want. I found, especially in the catering industry, that 2 to 3 layers is more than enough for a dinner portion or a lunch portion. So a full-size sheet pan like this, you'll get 12 dinner portions, or you'll get 24 lunch portions. So it's either a 4-ounce or an 8-ounce cut on the portion size. Now on your pans, even if you have a ceramic pan or whatever type of pan you're using in your kitchen, you want to spray some cooking oil in it. And of course I use the olive oil one for the Italian dishes. So this way here, your sauces and your noodles, nothing will stick. So we have our pan oiled, our sauce is ready to go, our vegetables smell really good, they're ready to go, and now we just need to do one essential thing for good lasagna. You want to blot your noodles before you put them in the pan. So I have, this has been sitting, I have all my noodles here, and what you want to do is just take them a few at a time and place them on, I'm going to get 3 at a time over here. So just place it and then blot it. So any type of paper towel will work, and just take your hands and blot it with the paper towel. And once all the water is pretty much evaporated on it, so the first thing we want to do is put sauce in the bottom of the pan. Not a lot, you don't need to put a lot, but enough that's going to coat the bottom of the pan so that the last layer will get absorbed by this great flavorful garlic, butter, and heavy whipping cream and Romano cheese flavor. So I'm just gonna, you want to spread it so it's all over the bottom of the pan. There we go. Okay, now we're ready for our noodles. So we blotted these, so I'm just gonna put them back in the pan as we did. And this is ready. I'm gonna turn this off. Does it smell okay in here? I think it does. It smells pretty good. Now once again, make sure your noodles overlay so you're making a pie. Lasagna, when it should come out, should be firm and stay put together. And the way you do that is by blotting your noodles so you don't have a lot of moisture, using the correct cheeses, which I'll go over in a minute, and making sure that you overlap your noodles. Mom taught me all this, so it's kind of written in my nonstop head here. Oops, I have to take that one back down. So we're going to blot the rest of these. That one's okay. Now take your paper towel and blot. So I'll tell you a lasagna story while we're waiting. We have so many. So I grew up in a big Italian Catholic family in Long Island, and I was the baby. There were 4 of us kids, and my mother's sister married my father's brother, and they lived right across the street from us. So every time Aunt Gloria had a kid, my mother had a kid. So there was actually 8 of us DeFalco kids growing up in Franklin Square all at the same time. So every holiday, every birthday, every weekend, we would all get together and we would gather around the dinner table, and we would always have some kind of pasta. And this one occasion, I don't remember what it was for, but my mom made pans of lasagna for all of us, and my brother the day before came home for lunch with his football buddies, and he ate all of our lasagna. And my mom was not happy. But as the story goes today, I think she was more proud that my brother wanted to bring all of his friends back to our house. So that was just a fun thing. And when my brother went off to college, he went to the U.S. Air Force Academy in Colorado, and none of us had ever traveled. So my parents bought tickets for a family vacation to go visit my brother after basic training. And all he wanted was a pan of lasagna from Mom. So she carried a frozen pan of lasagna on United Airlines, I'll never forget it, through security, on the airplane, on the stairs. It was, the 70s back then, we had air stairs, and the flight attendants, so nice, they were so courteous, and they put the lasagna in their refrigerator area. And then when we got to his school part, he was so proud. His mother brought him lasagna, and all the cadets were helping him eat it. It was really pretty special. So my brother is known for loving the lasagna the most. So today I dedicate this segment of our show to my brother, Frank DeFalco, who has sponsored us today. Thanks, Frank. Okay, so we have our first layer of noodles, and the cheeses are really important. So the first one is the ground. You want it to stick to all your noodles. So you're gonna be generous with it, don't be cheap. Like my mother would say, don't be cheap. And make sure that you get your pecorino romano all over your noodles. And I can see that they're all on there now. And then the next one is your whole milk ricotta. Don't use anything else but whole milk. This is my Palio. We grew up with Palio cheese. They are not a sponsor, but they should be because that's all we use at our restaurant and for our catering and stuff. So Palio cheese is, it's like paste almost, but the reason why is because it's made with whole milk ingredients. So when you bake it, it doesn't get all liquidy. It has just a really beautiful finish to it. So I'm gonna do a dollop about every 2 inches. When you smash the noodles, it'll cover all the noodles. So we don't have to do a lot of it, or I know a lot of chefs will take it and smooth it out, but that's not necessary because we're going to pound the noodles down when we're done. That's the last element before we put it in the oven. Okay. So there we have our ricotta, we have our pecorino romano. Our noodles are over each other, overlapping. Now the next step is going to be this beautiful medley of spinach and mushrooms. Once again, don't be cheap, but keep it nice. There we go. So you want enough where it's not overbearing, however, you can see all the pretty vegetables here. So these are the artichokes, and there we go, we've sauteed them. On the artichokes, maybe one every, I think I do 8, right? No, I do 6 because this is a different kind of a pan. So we're gonna do 6. So you have 6 artichoke halves, you have sauteed mushrooms and sauteed spinach. And then next is going to be whole milk shredded cheese, mozzarella. Also Palio if you can get it. And be generous, don't be cheap. And put these throughout the noodles, covering up your vegetables, like so. And then lastly is, we would call it the sweater on the lady. So this is it. So it's kind of like your blanket, your sweater, just something not overbearing, but you want to put your Alfredo sauce sparingly in lines going down. I do 3 lines, so going down the pan. You don't want to overdo your sauce on any type of lasagna, and the reason why is because then it's not going to look pretty. It's going to look like a sloppy mess of sauce. Just remember, you have sauce on the side and you can add yours in as you like it afterwards. So we have 1 layer, we're going to do another layer. So I've blotted my noodles and we're going to put them down, and then I'm going to show you a little trick. Okay. Overlap, overlap. When you finish layering your pasta, you're going to press it down. And that's when all your ricotta and everything in the mixture is going to spread so that it'll be over each and every inch of your lasagna after it comes out of the oven. Okay, so now we're going to do it again. This is repetitive. So the first thing is our grated pecorino romano cheese on the bottom, and make sure you get it on every part of your pasta. Okay. And then next up is our Palio ricotta cheese, whole milk. When we were kids, for Thanksgiving, we'd have lasagna at 12 o'clock and then turkey at 4. And it was just a day of eating and eating. I don't know how we ate all that, but we did. I couldn't do that now, I'll tell you what. Okay, all right, so your pecorino romano's on there, your ricotta. Next up is these vegetables. Spread them throughout. Oops, hard to grab with this thing. There we go. You can also, if you want to get creative, my grandmother would probably have a fit putting chicken in lasagna, but chicken goes really good with this spinach artichoke. You know, pizza, all that stuff is quite a trend, but if you're going to make spinach artichoke lasagna, you can always add in grilled chicken, or you can add in, you know, beef, meatballs, anything like that. It's whatever you want to put in it. This is just a basic recipe, just to show you how it's made and have some fun with it, something unique and different. So in the oven also, I made today, I'm featuring this one, but we'll also have the traditional one just because. So, okay, we have our vegetables now, and we have our ricotta. So lastly, almost lastly, is our shredded mozzarella cheese again. And we're just gonna be very generous with that. So the cheese covers any flaws in the noodles. If you know, there's one that's not perfect, you'll never see it. You're gonna just see a perfect pan of lasagna when it comes out of your oven. Okay. Lastly is the blanket on top. We're going to blanket it with this beautiful fettuccine Alfredo sauce. If you ever want to make pink sauce, we had pink sauce at our restaurant. The gnocchi with pink sauce was one of our most popular dishes. So pink sauce is just combining Alfredo sauce with your marinara sauce. You don't have to put vodka in it unless you want to, but that's basically what pink sauce is. And then always a little garnish of parsley on top to make it look pretty. There you have a full pan of Alfredo white lasagna with spinach, artichoke, and mushroom stuffing. Now I'm going to bake this in the oven. It takes about a half an hour. And when I come back, we'll dish it up and we'll be able to try some really good, something different and unique, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Welcome back. So the lasagna has been cooking for 40 minutes and it's ready. I prepared 3 different kinds. I showed you how to make the spinach, artichoke, mushroom in Alfredo sauce. So I'm going to plate that one first. Take my cover off, and I'm going to show you the pan, what it looks like. I hope you like what that looks like. It looks very good. So I'm going to slice it. This particular platter, it fits why I have these 3 platters. I'm doing a lasagna bar. So in my catering business, I offer a lasagna bar, and the reason why is because everybody wants a different flavor after they see the listing of them. So this particular bar offers 3 different kinds. So I'm going to plate 3 different platters of different deviations of it, and then we'll put them under our heat lamps in just a little bit. It takes a little bit of practice, but we don't want to. So lasagna, like I said, if you have a full pan, you can get 12 dinner portions. And what I'm doing is I'm cutting them up a little bit smaller, and so they can be put out. And it's actually lunchtime right now, so we're doing this more for lunchtime. You always want to make sure you try and keep it together so it looks really pretty. Doesn't always work, but we do our best to try. Just make sure you have those artichoke hearts on top because that really, really elevates the presentation. Artichokes are really healthy and they're also really popular. If you have to decide, okay, it's semi-healthy, this really isn't a bad dish because you have all your healthy vegetables, you have your spinach, you have artichokes, and you have mushrooms, so you're getting all your vegetables in. So that's just about a half a pan. Then you have another half a pan. I'm not going to overstuff it because we can always add to it. But this is the spinach artichoke. I just want to make sure it looks pretty. And then of course you want to decorate a little bit. Just a little bit of parsley. And Annie's touch is always a little floral, just to give it a little bit of color. Spinach artichoke lasagna. And next up is going to be also a white lasagna, but it's a meat lover. So everybody loves meat on their lasagna. And the meat lasagna is sausage, ground up, mild Italian, and a ground sirloin. Oh, excuse me a second here. Okay. So once again, we're going to do same kind of platter. This is what it looks like whole. And that's just a meat lover's dream. So we're gonna as you can see, when you have a really full pan with a lot of different ingredients, be it the spinach and artichoke or meats or anything, 2 levels is enough in a sheet pan if you're catering. Of course, it's different. When we had our restaurant, it was 4 levels, and that's because we were serving it in a restaurant, so it wasn't the same as when you do a catered event, people are eating a bunch of things, so they're not going to sit down and eat a big plate of lasagna, so you certainly don't need all the layers unless you're going for a really outrageous look. But to me, this suffices. It looks pretty and everybody loves it because it's got the meat in it. You'll also notice the cheese, whole milk cheeses. Ooh, there's lots of string. One more in there. So these are more lunch portions. They're smaller, but they certainly suffice, and this is good for a party. We also, I won't show you because I don't have the little plates, but we have what we call lasagna bites for catering. So a lasagna bite is a piece that's probably about the size of a $50. And I make a whole sheet pan, and then I cut them up really, really small, and we put them on a really tiny plastic little plate with a mini fork, and we either butler pass them or we put them on a charcuterie display, and it's really fun. People get a kick out of that. So that's another way to have a lasagna. Okay, so we have spinach artichoke in Alfredo sauce. Now we have meat lovers in Alfredo sauce. And last up is going to be traditional. I just want to show you guys. So that's your meat lovers. Lastly is traditional. Let me show you what it looks like. So this is Traditional Meat Lovers. It has the same mild Italian sausage ground up, fresh ground sirloin ground up, Italian herbs and seasonings, and the same cheeses. You have your pecorino, you have your whole milk ricotta, and then you have your shredded whole milk mozzarella, and then you have marinara sauce. So the marinara sauce definitely is a favorite amongst the old school Italians, and reason why is, of course, because it's traditional. So old school Italians, they don't like to break tradition. So let me cut this up with, and we're gonna if you were to tell my grandmother you were putting white sauce on her lasagna, or chicken, or what else do they do? Pineapple, anything crazy like that, she'd say, oh my gosh, no, no, no. If you could see why I use the pan, there's hardly any residue in the bottom of the pan. Everything is just sliding out nicely. So it really is a big help having some kind of cooking spray for your sheet pans when you cook. It'll make your dishwasher or your husband or whoever's doing the dishes very happy. Okay. Now we just gotta garnish. Okay. And these little flour, put it on the side here. This is Traditional Meat Lovers Italian Lasagna by Annie. I'm gonna take a quick break, and when I come back, I'm gonna show you the final result. In catering, I use heat lamps. We have beautiful presentations, and I don't like to put them in a chafer most of the time. You want to be able to visualize what you're eating, and chafing dishes, they're beautiful, but they cover up beautiful food. So I have a tendency not to use them as much anymore, and I have heat lamps and heater underneath that keep it nice and warm while it's being served, and then this way here you can see what your choices are. So when I come back, I'll show you the presentation with the heat lamps. Thank you. Welcome back. We're ready for our lasagna, and I thought I'd do a burrata board as a complement to the lasagna dinner. And a burrata board, burrata is basically in the ricotta family, and it's really spreadable though, it's really delicious. And our friends over at Little Bear Syrup, it's a honey blend syrup, goes really, really nice with this dish, so that's why I wanted to present this to you. So I want to thank them for being our sponsors, and I'm going to show you how I would use their syrup with our dinner, with our Italian dinner. So this is our burrata here, so just take a nice slice, and then you're going to spread it on your bread. And I'm using artisan bread with garlic cloves right in it. There's a big garlic clove. So honey and garlic go really well together, and burrata is, if you ask any Italian, they love burrata. So you're going to put it right on the bread. And then here's a little piece of prosciutto to complement it. So you're gonna layer your burrata with prosciutto. And then here's our honey blend. So we're just gonna take it and we're gonna drizzle it on the top. Look at that. So Little Bear makes this really great blend, and it's sweet, it's delicious, and it goes just complements. You have the salt of the prosciutto, you have the garlic flavor of the bread, and then you have your burrata, which is a whole milk ricotta spread on the bread. And this is your end result and what I would suggest with it with your lasagna. If you don't want exactly burrata, then there's artisan breads. You have to have artisan breads and some type of something to dunk in your marinara sauce or your Alfredo sauce. So this is our burrata board. I also want to thank our friends at Spirits and Spice. Today's olive oil infused I use is their Italian herb medley, and it's delicious. All of their infused olive oils are grand. I have the basil one over there. I'm going to be using it later today, but for now this is the one that I chose for this particular lasagna episode. So we have that. I also want to do a huge shout out to Vegas Real Estate. We're in this beautiful home today because this is one of their good friends, and they are wonderful people. And Vegas Real Estate, we appreciate them. They've been our sponsors through and through, and they're great clients. And I just want to say, if you need any type of real estate transactions, if you'd like to move out to the beautiful Henderson area and live in a home like this, or anywhere in the outskirts of Las Vegas, we have Mesquite now. We have beautiful Boulder City. We have Las Vegas, we have Summerlin, there's golf courses everywhere. It's just a really nice place to live. And it's also a great place to conduct business. I've been in business here for almost 25 years, and I love it here. There's no other place I'd pick. So if you do need anything in real estate, please contact Jennifer Turner. Her information is on her placard right here. And I'll be happy to do your grand opening celebration in your house if you buy a new house with her. So thank you so much for joining us. And in a moment, we're just going to show you our end result with the lasagna platters. And I appreciate you joining us today. It's been a pleasure showing you how we cook our lasagna in the DeFalco family. So the DeFalcos, that's my maiden name. And we're from Nola, Italy. And we're proud Italians, Italian Americans. And we love to cook, and we also love to eat. So memories are made around the dinner table. Always remember that. Memories are made around the dinner table, and we love to eat. So share your thoughts, share your feelings. Put your cell phones away. My grandmother, she would just go bonkers if she saw cell phones out at a dinner table. And she would always tell us, join the Clean Plate Club. So whatever you had on your plate, you had to eat the whole thing. Unless you had a dog like mine underneath my knees where I would give him a little. But I enjoyed cooking for you today, and I hope you enjoy my recipes. Stay tuned for a book. It's called Memories Are Made Around the Dinner Table, and you'll see Mom and I on the cover, and I'm sharing all of our family recipes and everything that I've shared here today. You'll be able to have it in print so that you can refer to it and cook it up your own way. But just remember too, just because I'm cooking something my way, it doesn't mean it's your way. These are just basic core recipes, and I encourage you to have fun while you cook like I do, and just experiment and use different oils, use different spices, and do things the way you would like to cook. There's no wrong way of cooking at all. Your way is the right way. So have a great day. Thank you so much.